heavy hitters, okay? Our first panelist is executive producer and creator of Love and Marriage franchise and Bell Collective, the king of reality TV, Carlos King. Hey, Carlos.
How's it going?
Our next panelist is Melody Cherie, CEO, beauty entrepreneur, and cast member of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Hey, great. Married couple Ashley and DJ Quicksilver, cast members of Love and Marriage DC.
Hello.
Hi.
Our new name is the Sexy Silvas. Sexy Silvas.
All right, up next we have Marie Ashton, self-made millionaire. I know that's right. CEO and cast member of The Collective. Hey, Marie.
Hello.
And last but certainly not least, we have Tambra, radio and television personality, CEO and cast member of The Collective.
Hi.
Hi. Now, these are some absolute bosses who aren't afraid to showcase their wins and obstacles in front of the camera. So let's get into it, y'all. Now, Carlos, the Oprah Winfrey Network implemented an unprecedented, unscripted primetime block on Fridays and Saturdays. Now, as the king of reality TV, how did you know this would work well?
Well, what's interesting is I take pleasure in working with Black professionals and making sure that they have a elevated story that I feel is relatable to a wide audience. So, the funny story is, when I met Melody Martell, we were discussing projects together, and long story short, I'm like, you got some friends, Melody? Because I like you. You a star girl. Like, let's figure something out. And she introduced.
Of course, honey, Miss Melody Cherie is a star. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Love and Marriage extra, honey. With a Bell Collective extra, with a Love and Marriage DC extra, because, this host, honey, she is talking to Miss Melody Cherie, Carlos King, the SILVAs, honey, from Love and Marriage DC, and my girl, Miss Marie, honey, okay, from Bell Collective. And I think Marie is my favorite. I just love her accent. She is so beautiful to me, and I just love her attitude, honey. Yes, I love me some Marie. And first off, guys, before we continue, honey, digging into what these people got to say about reality TV, I want to thank you all for your happy birthdays. That you all sent to me. I just love communicating with you guys online, on my birthday every year. We do it all the time, honey, okay? Thank you to the people that sent me cash apps. I appreciate it so much. Thank y'all so much for just rocking with me, believing in me. The brand fans, honey, y'all just got it going on, but it's only right, okay? Y'all know that y'all the baddest thing ever, honey, okay? I'm bad, y'all bad, okay? Let's be bad together. So anyways, honey, without further ado, let's continue to hear, honey, what all these bosses, honey, got to say, and Miss Robinson will be in and out with her commentary.
Introduced me to these amazing couples, and Love and Marriage was birthed out of that. And even with Bell Collective in Jackson, Mississippi, it was me meeting with this local 20-something-year-old man who was like, I know some people in Jackson, Mississippi who are some heavy hitters. And I'm like, let me meet the women. And I met them. And again, we have Tambra and Marie, a part of that collective. And then obviously we have DC, which stars the SILVAs as well. So the biggest thing for me is I grew up watching Oprah Winfrey, and she definitely changed the way I view the world. So I wanted to return that favor and provide some unscripted content to her network. And when we see how Love and Marriage is #1 on Saturday nights, and we see how Bell Collective is dominating Friday nights starting July 29th, it's been a fun treat to be able to display these beautiful Black professionals who also just have some very interesting things going on in their personal lives, and they have the confidence to be honest about it, which is what I love.
Yeah, I love that too, and I'm a fan of both franchises, and I'm really excited about today and to talk to you guys about that. Now, you touched a little bit on Love and Marriage DC. What made you expand the franchise to DC? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so what's funny is we always knew that Huntsville was a very special place in Alabama, and the beauty of Huntsville is the fact that they can swinging like some baseball players, able to take that to another level. And then, long story short, Monique Samuels, who was on Potomac Housewives, she left that show. She and I started to communicate. So when the conversation came about to expand a different city, I wanted to do something with her already. And when she introduced me to the Silvas and the Toddlers, I was like, oh.
Now, really quickly, you guys, I want to expound upon what Carlos is saying. In my personal opinion, I feel like Martell and Melody are the stars of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I just feel like I like Carlos and I get what he's doing. He tries to give credit to all of the couples, but if it wasn't for Melody and Martell, they really wouldn't have a show. In my personal opinion, the Scotts are always trying to hide their tea. I personally was told by YouTube to take a video down that I did on the Scotts. That's why I really don't rock with them right about now, honey. Okay? Look, if I ever did. But yeah, I don't like that. Like, I just feel like when you are on a reality show and then when you get on here and do all these damn lives, like, hell, we are YouTube bloggers. Shit, we trying to, get down to the truth. And hell, if the Scots would just tell the damn truth on the show, okay, like, we would have no problems. But I don't like people that's always trying to perpetually like hide stuff, perpetually play these victims like Letitia, and then you got Marceau. You ask him a question, he leads you on a damn scavenger hunt that you didn't ask to go on. It's just like, make it make sense. I feel like the Scotts do a lot, and this is including the Scotts' other brother, honey, that's not on the show that be going live. Y'all know what his name is, honey. I just feel like they do the show a disservice because they are always trying to hide stuff. They'll come out and say certain stuff and then you can't say nothing back. And then, it's too messy for me. I don't feel like the Holtz is like that. I don't feel, even like with Martell, y'all know how I feel about him. I don't feel like he's like that. Melody, anytime I've ever did a story on them, I've never had no issues. And even if you look at the show, Kiki was getting ready to expose some stuff. At that dinner Miss Wanda had, y'all remember from this past season, Marceau wouldn't let her. He's getting loud and threatening her. And then some of you all are in my comments saying, oh, well, why are you hating on Letitia and Marceau's marriage? And maybe they really are in love and you think that everybody is cheating. I don't think that every man is a cheater. I am not that woman. I have never told you all I feel like that about men in relationships. I do believe some men cheat, but I feel like I've always reiterated to you all, Marceau does himself a disservice with how he answers questions and, goes on this damn merry-go-round away from questions and don't answer truthfully. You got Lyrese lying down to the reunion. Okay, you got Kimmy. She coming off like a pick-me this season. She's coming off as being disingenuous. I didn't like how she treated Kiki. I don't like all of this, oh, I'm overly defending Tisha. And I'm not at all coming from a place of malicious intent where I want them arguing with each other, because I get it. You all are sister-in-laws and you all are family, right? Because you all are married to men that are brothers. I get it. You could be cordial and, you know, still, you know, have your relationship with your sister-in-law, but for you to be messy this season and run back and tell her everything, and now, honey, I'm hearing Miss Van don't like, y'all know, we kind of saw it play out on the show, Miss Van don't like that Kimmy ran and told Tisha something. You know, it's like, Kimmy, what is you doing? You know, then you got Tiffany and Lou, they not bringing it. Okay, like, I'm sick of everybody with the same damn storyline. We need a new couple. Child, Miss Robinson is going off on a tangent, but I just had to put that out there, you guys. Like, the Scotts are like, I don't trust them. Then you got Miss Wanda, you guys, and all that shit with Black Titanic and, you know, bringing Funky Dineva into that shit. It's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you saying and doing so much unnecessary shit? Like, you guys, and y'all know I kind of like Miss Wanda. I think she's funny, but I don't think she's a very smart lady with that, you know, that stuff she was doing with Funky Dineva and Black Titanic. Like, stay out of that. Don't be dragging people's names through the mud. Girl, now we have not seen her on social media, which is, you know, good. Miss Wanda needs a good ghetto break, honey. Okay, I know her ghetto first floor ass. She'll be back. Okay.
It is. It's very unique and interesting. And you see the feedback that we get from people watching DC, and the beauty of it is, you know, Huntsville and DC are very different shows, very unique on its own, pun intended. But it's two shows that displays Black excellence at the forefront, in addition to the fact that all of these couples have something unique going on in their personal lives. And, you know, when you look at someone like Ashley Silva, who, again, you know, just came out the gate too swinging, we knew that we had something special.
I love that. Now, are there any other cities we can expect the franchise to head to?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Listen, everybody wants me to do something in Atlanta, which is, I always felt like Atlanta was oversaturated. But
it is, Carlos. Like, I don't know why everybody want to move to Atlanta. I don't get why everybody want to show in Atlanta. No, I like what he's doing. I like the authenticity of what he's doing, putting these shows in these different cities, like that we normally, you know, we don't hear about. I like it.
If I get one more message about Atlanta, Nene Leakes, Portia, I mean, I would be a millionaire now if I...
Of course, Miss Nene Leakes. Portia could stay over there with Simon for all I care, okay?
I had a dollar for someone mentioned those women in that city, so I don't know, but the focus is making sure that Huntsville and DC shine the way that they are currently.
Huntsville is shining. Monique Samuels is bringing DC all the way down. And just when I thought, oh, Momo didn't let some stuff go, honey, she got even Momo stuff to complain and nag about. Okay, I will talk about it in my Love and Marriage DC recap. You guys will probably hear about that before you get this video. But yeah, that Monique, oh my God. I know her fan base is like, girl, we don't even like you no more. She is so unlikable, you guys, on this show. She should have just stayed on Potomac, real talk.
Continue putting all of my effort into those shows. And of course, Bill Connected too.
Okay, well, we'll keep that in the pocket. Now, Melody, Love and Marriage franchise, has become a hit in its own right. Why do you believe the franchise is so successful in Huntsville?
You know, I feel that the franchise has been successful when it comes to Huntsville because it's one of those cities that hadn't been tapped into, right? So you heard Carlos how he felt, you know, Atlanta is oversaturated. Well, who would have thought there would be a reality show in Alabama, right? And so that piquing the interest of people in terms of what's happening in Alabama, specifically Huntsville, that was one thing for sure. And then just the cast members being willing to be transparent and put everything out on the forefront. Like, I wouldn't have guessed that a phrase I used season 1 where you should have kept your in the household, right? Would continue on for so relate to different issues that truly occur when it comes to friendships, when it comes to, growing and building businesses as an African American. I think all of those factors have played a part. And of course, having an amazing EP such as Carlos, that what we're giving is authenticity. Those are the things that have caused people to be able to relate to Love and Marriage Huntsville.
I love that. Now, do people stop you on the street?
Yeah. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy connecting with people. And the fact that I have people, sometimes who come up and they're in tears because my story is so relatable. And so I don't mind taking time, to talk and even give words of encouragement in those moments for the women who do come up, because I've been so transparent, right? They feel comfortable being transparent with me. And so I look at it as purpose work.
Oh, I love that. Purpose work. That's a really good way to put it. Now, thank you, Melody, for that. Now, Bell Collective features Black women in boss positions. For those who aren't familiar with Bell Collective, let's take a look.
The Bells are back. Things have changed. I am the new and improved Latrice Rogers. The only thing I needed was just a little Simone and I are back together. Just opened Letitia Pearson Enterprise.
Let me reintroduce myself. I'm Marie Monroe.
This bear right here got plenty of spice. Everybody want to be like So Gucci. Got the funniest, finest husband in America. My name is Akeisha. I am the real queen of Jackson, Mississippi. I don't know if Akeisha is a woman of empowerment or if she's a woman who has to be empowered. Tasha and Damon are having an affair.
What do you think about bringing another baby to the family?
I'm at 0 on wanting to have a baby.
I need my wife home.
Tell me the truth. This your baby or not?
Now, we as women, at the end of the day, we got to stick together.
Y'all are bosses.
I mean, they are bosses.
Y'all are bosses, honey.
Girl.
Bell Collective, new season, Friday, July 29th at 9/8 Central. Part of Real Drama Weekends on OWN.
What a trailer. We love the collective. Now, Carlos, I want to ask you, what was like the thought process behind creating the show? I know you touched on it a little bit before, but it's a different show, which we all love as viewers. But when you were creating it, what were you kind of wanting to get out of that?
I wanted to show Black females who were self-made millionaires, who were entrepreneurs. Statistics show that Black women are the fastest growing entrepreneurs in the world. And I wanted to be able to showcase that to a wide audience. And again, when you think about a small town like Huntsville, think about Jackson, Mississippi, right? So that alone, I was intrigued. And then again, when I met these beautiful women who have all this spice and sass and interesting personal lives, I knew that we had something special. But I also knew that these women were going to inspire a group of young Black girls and women to be able to go after their dreams and start their businesses and follow their dreams. And again, the beauty of all the shows, I do for OWN is the fact that all of my cast members are relatable. You can have, there's something Melody and I talked about. There's always, purpose through pain. And not everybody has this perfect life. Just because you have all this money doesn't mean you're not going through issues that are relatable to the world. And one thing I always said about my cast, all of them, is they are so brave and courageous to get in front of the camera and talk about things they're going through. And to do that, knowing that you're going to have a small group of people on Twitter.com judge you and throw shade and throw tomatoes and all that. But they also know that there's going to be millions of people who are going to root for them. And I'm happy to know that everybody that comes through Kingdom Reign are able to say they have that experience of being entrepreneurs and making money, based on the businesses that they have.
Yes, that's so true. I love that. Now, Tambra and Marie, why was this show so important for you to be a part of?
You can go first, Tam.
Okay. Well, for me, I think it was super important because I'm actually born and raised in Jackson. So I love breaking those stereotypes, to be honest with you. Like, that was a big deal for me, is breaking those stereotypes. provided a platform so people can actually see that. We talk about cities. You don't think of Jackson and Huntsville. Like, that's what I love about Carlos. He took a chance. Chances make champions. And as you see, this is what we have right here. So that's what I love about it. So it was important for me. And I always believe every platform has a purpose. So that's what's important for me as well.
Are y'all happy that Tambra Cherie is back on Bell Collective? What happened to the little dentist girl? What's the dentist girl? Antoinette? I kind of liked her. She was kind of serving Malaysia a little bit. I liked her, and then sometimes I would dislike her, but, you know. Tambra, I just was never a fan of hers like that. But, you know, she's back.
So, and I learned that in season 1, that it definitely provided a purpose. And then just breaking the stereotypes. When you think about Mississippi, because I'm quite sure everybody has always had a stereotype, but there's so much talent and Black business people and Black women and amazing entrepreneurs right here in Jackson. So that was important for me, for people to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was important for me to share my story, to be able to inspire other women, other young girls who may have been that teenage mom or that young girl who mom wasn't present, balancing, you know, building a successful business for, you know, over 25 years, balancing children, being married, navigating the death of my divorce, you know, so many other different, you know, scandals. I'm very relatable when it comes to pretty much every aspect of life. So it was important for me to be able to share my story to inspire that next woman. Hey, in spite of your circumstances, regardless of whatever it is that you're going through, you can accomplish and achieve whatever you know, put your mind and your heart to, and first, with God, all things are possible. So, you know, that was important for me to be able to just, you know, share with other women.
I love me some Marie Hamilton Abston, honey. Okay, what's her little girl? Not a girlfriend, her best friend. Is her name Essie? You guys put it in the comments. I like their little friendship, honey. I love me some Marie, honey. Marie is a boss. She just don't care.
You know, who can relate to me and everything that I go through. And everything that I experience don't make TV. It's just so much. So from any topic, I'm relatable.
Now, how have you been able to leverage your success on the show while pursuing other endeavors?
You know, I show up. I'm very transparent. Whatever's going on in my life at that particular time, that's what I discuss and that's what I talk about. It's authentic. You know, it's just so many different moving parts in my life. You know, a lot of times entrepreneurs, you know, with entrepreneurs, people see the glitz and the glam, but behind all of that, there are challenges. There are ups. There are ups and there are downs. You know, there are struggles. You know, in the household, you know, in your personal life, dealing with children, spouses. You know, it's just so many different things that occur. You know, when you have so many different things going on in your life. You know, I just show up and share whatever's going on in my life at that particular time.
Melody, same question for you. How have you been able to leverage your success from the show while also pursuing other endeavors?
Absolutely. I would say for anyone who's interested in, you know, being in reality TV, to make sure that they seize the moment, right? Use that opportunity in terms of being in front of hundreds of thousands or millions of viewers every weekend to really go after any other endeavors that you wanted to go after, making sure that it does align with your brand. I can say that I'm very particular when it comes to, there's the Melody Cherie brand that is the entertainment, and then there's the Melody Cherie brand that's the businesswoman entrepreneur, right? And so for me, I have made sure that those things line up and they match. So I've been able to, you know, create several new businesses. Of course, I started over because I went through a divorce. So for me, I had to pick up the pieces and begin anew, right? So I have a master class that I, you know, created. I've had over 500 students go through my course since June of 2020, mostly African-American women. And I am giving them the tools to be in a multi-billion-dollar industry that's been white male-dominated for years. I've recently launched my skincare line, right, that has been doing phenomenally well, already on the road to being $1 million business, and I just launched it in February. I've been able to create a God Said Go merch line. I've been able to embark on my music career and have songs chart #1. So I would say that, again, anyone who's getting into reality TV, to just make sure that, you know, you also focus on that entrepreneurial piece of you and creating businesses to create legacy and create generational wealth outside of just the reality TV realm.
Go, Melody, girl, with your bad self, honey. And y'all in my comments talking about Tisha ain't jealous of Melody. Yes, she is. And somebody made a comment, and in the comment, what did you all say? I'm going to try to paraphrase it. I think one of you all said something like, well, Melody, you know, she kind of comes off like she's better. And, you know, I think, and this is what I think, because I've received this type of feedback. I get it all the time. Like, oh, you think you better than everybody? I really attribute that to being light-skinned, honestly. Like, if you light-skinned, that's the easiest shit for people to say. She thinks she better. Oh, she pretty. She must think this. And but anyways, I feel that Melody is simply self-confident. And it's unfortunate that when you are on a show with a group of people who are not as ambitious as you are, okay, and nobody is coming down on the other castmates because everybody is successful in their own right. I will, you know, acknowledge that. But I feel like with Melody, she's a self-starter. She's not waiting for somebody else to set the blueprint. Okay, there's that word. She's not waiting on anybody to get things started. She's a natural star. And I think that that's what Carlos really liked about her. That's what attracted her to him, on her being a star of the show, and even, you know, with Martell being her husband. I'm pretty sure it was Melody that sold the damn show. Okay, and it's just simply based on her being self-confident, her being determined, her being relentless, her being spiritual, you know, and unfortunately, when you are around people that lack that have the spirit of insecurity, that have low self-esteem, that are constantly trying to compete and compare themselves to you, you're going to look a certain way to those type of people. But to other people that are confident, we clapping for Mel. Okay, and I told y'all, I don't feel like Melody is perfect. I do have a video coming up where we go delve into, you know, what I feel Mel should work on. Nobody is perfect, right? But, you know, the girl is doing good. I am happy for her. She is really making it do what it do as far as her being an entrepreneur, always going live, always posting, and, you know, so much of that attributes to her success. So, I don't feel like it's, oh, she act bougie. No, look at who's complaining about her. Tisha. Tisha's jealous, insecure, unsure. And then she set up, if y'all remember, in the audio I played you, oh, you know, Melody didn't really inspire me. I got women in my family. What women in your damn family? You just now helping your mother to get her little her little food truck. So what women was really helping you to put ideas in your head about getting out here to network, maybe going back to school, handling your business, tackling all your goals? Who was really instilling those values into you? And it was Melody. And I understand this so well, you guys, because I have did that for past friends and lovers. Did I ever get a damn thank you? I actually had an ex tell me, well, you don't do nothing for my life. You don't bring nothing to the table. No, bitch, I am the table. Did you forget that? Okay, I'm the one with the beauty and the talent and the, like this particular person, they didn't know shit about entrepreneurship until I began telling them all the principles in Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Check that book out. That book changed my life. So I read a lot, and I'm sure Melody reads a lot and studies. And when you take in so much information, you want to help people. Do people appreciate it? No. They want to play it down, act like you didn't do nothing for them. Okay, they want to put you in lowest terms. Oh, that's nothing. I could have did that on my own. Well, then, bitch, why didn't you? Because you don't have the tools. Everybody don't have the tools for success. Everybody, you guys, don't want to be happy. Some people want to be miserable. Some people want to take credit for everything, knowing damn well, they got information and advice from a friend to help put them on the right path to success. Okay, so when people do nice things for you, say thank you for that. Because they didn't have to do it. And quit being a materialist. Quit thinking that a person is only a good friend if they buy you an expensive gift. No, sometimes the knowledge is what's expensive. Sometimes changing your frame of mind, your mind state, that's what the expensive gift. But see, you don't value that. What did T.I. say in his song? Unhappy with the riches because you piss poor morally. That's it right there. A lot of people don't have no values, morals, ethics, decorum. So, you don't value really what's important. And that's unfortunate.
Yes, that's so true.
Now, that was great. I'm sorry, I had to.
Yes, Melody girl.
My bad, girl. I had to, do a praise dance.
It's okay. Tara, this question is for you. So what are the biggest misconceptions about being on reality TV?
The biggest misconception?
Yes.
Well, for me, I think the biggest misconception is that people think that even though it's reality, they still think it's scripted and it's not. Like, that's what I get. They're like, is that really true? Did that really happen? Like, they still think that it's scripted or somebody's feeding us. And that's not really true. That's not true at all. We're talking, like we're amongst each other off the dome, okay? So I think that's still the biggest misconception. I get that question a lot.
Like in front of the camera like that, it's putting you in a different space. Yeah. So that you made really good points there. Carlos, the same question for you. What do you think some of the biggest misconceptions are about being on reality TV?
Well, I definitely think it's what Tamber said. It's the scripted element, and that's very interesting, Tamber. You brought that up because I always tell people the purpose of the producers. They're always like, "What are they doing? Are they feeding you lines?" It's like, no, we're making sure that you are telling your authentic story, and sometimes you may want to delay that a couple of months or a couple of years, but we ain't got that luxury on this show, so we can talk about it within a day or two. And you are sort of like in this uncomfortable situation where you have to confront people or confront an issue because damn, the crew got to leave at 9 o'clock, so let me get this out at 7, child. So then by 9 o'clock, I can go home. So that is very interesting, and that is why people think it's scripted, but it's not. We have to organize things to happen. And I think the other thing for me bothers me that people think when a black woman raises her voice, she's ratchet, or they don't get the same sort of grace.
I have zero respect for you. You are a liability. I by no means want to be anywhere near you. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. You can leave.
Or, they don't get the same sort of grace as their white female counterparts, and that truly, seriously bothers me because there's nothing ratchet about any of the shows that we're talking about today. You heard from Melody talking about millions of women who come to her saying, you changed my life, or oh my God, you're going through this, I'm inspired. I know in Bell Collective, last year or the year before that, they sponsored this scholarship so that these Black girls in the school were able to follow their dreams. There's nothing ratchet about that.
Now, really quickly, you guys, I played the little clip with Giselle from Potomac and how hard she came down on Monique. And, y'all know I am not Monique's biggest fan, especially with the fight with Candace. I'm Team Candace, but I always disliked that clip of Giselle, just acting like, and as Black women, and as, and then her and Wendy, they were really hard on that. But just for the next season, you got Wendy acting a fool, ready to fight, and, I just felt like it was all very hypocritical, especially with, Giselle, and then I never understood why Carlos King made her one of his favorite housewives of all time. Number one, she's not even a housewife. Number two, what does she bring besides light skin and green eyes to the show? Yeah, but she messy and the show need that, and no. She needs to bring more. She is a vulture. All she do is feed off of other people's storylines and then tries to attach herself so she could be relevant. No, they need Homegirl to step her game up. It is the same bullshiggity with Giselle season after season. I'm tired of it. Andy, Bravo, somebody. It's a no for me. I'm serious. And this is somebody light-skinned, you guys, telling you this. It's like she has no talent. Everything is, and then she's on the Ultimate Girls Trip that's coming up, you guys, with Candace and Portia. Y'all know both of them are gonna come down hard on Candace. I don't know why. Portia is a whore. Okay, she can't come at Candace like that. It just does not make any sense. I just already kind of know how it's going to play out, but I will still be watching, honey. I still will be watching, but yeah, I just feel like when you are going to be on these reality shows, you need to bring something of substance to the table. All this feeding off of other folks' storylines, that's so whack and played out to me. Honey, I cannot.
So I think the biggest misconception is the fact that Black people aren't able to have an issue, go through a dramatic situation without it being labeled that. And I look at my own life. Child, I have 9 siblings, and I got some crazy friends, and I cuss them all out. But it doesn't make me a ratchet person. It just makes me, human. And I think the beauty of these shows is you're seeing the human side of people.
Yes, I agree. Now, in the process of filming, is there any point where there's like, oh, I don't want to talk about that? Is there anything that's like off limits, or it's like, hey, this is a reality show, let's show the reality?
Not with Carlos. Not with Carlos. You have to talk about everything. I know firsthand. Not with Carlos. Not with Jermaine.
Melody, what were you saying, Melody?
I will say that she's right, but I will say one thing that I respect about Carlos a lot. We're 4 or 5 seasons in at this point since 2018. One thing I can say I respected about him is when it comes to the children, right? If there's something that we don't want to, conversation we don't want to have, or if it involves the kids, Carlos is like, hey, okay, nope, we're not doing it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that, as a producer, him understanding. I know we're here to catch reality, but there are some things that are super, super sensitive, and that ain't what we're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So I always respected and appreciated that.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Now, Marie, also
kids get Melanie.
Melanie. When you have, Tamara, when you have kids, we'll talk about that thing off limits. But other than that, no. I'm teasing, but it's funny because one thing I will say, when it's something truly like sensitive, right? The ladies know they'll come to me, and the beauty of my relationship with the ladies is the fact that at the end of the day, we're not here to expose anybody. Like, if anything, is what, like I said, it's more so growing through the process. But yeah, everything's a conversation.
Yeah. Now, speaking of growing through the process, Marie, how has this process been for you being in front of the camera on reality TV? You do talk about, being from Mississippi, and now you're in front of the camera, you out in the city. How's that been for you now that you're on the collective?
It's very, especially in the beginning, it was very challenging. Here it is, this woman, this rich, multi-million-dollar business owner, makes an interest on the grand interest on TV, and people were like, who is this woman? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, my businesses that are not legit, I just made up these businesses and popped up on TV, and them not knowing, I've been in business, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years, I'm very successful. It took years, a lot of hard work for me to make millions of dollars. I have a healthcare empire, a one-stop shop. If I'm not making millions and I've been in business in healthcare over 15 years, then I failed myself. I need to go back to the drawing board and redo some things. So I should be successful. But then, you have me over here. I have the same certifications and credentials as, and I don't mean no harm, as a white woman. She's worthy and deserving of her credentials. She's legit.
Come on, baby.
Here it is. I'm a black woman on a private community mental health center in the state of Mississippi. Then I'm not legit. I'm a fraud. I have to be doing something unethical.
Come on.
Why I can't be winning legitimately? Why I can't be a successful businesswoman legitimately?
Because when you are black, and it's unfortunate, and it happens even within our own community, you just have all these haters. Like, you don't really do that. I've told certain people, yeah, I'm a content creator. Nah, you don't really do that for real. No, I am a content creator. No, you think you are. Bitch, I don't think. Y'all know Miss Robinson to turn up on them fools. Look, now, you don't want to get your feelings hurt. I said what I said, okay? And what I said wasn't no bullshiggity, honey, okay? But, yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys have been through that where you told somebody about a certain job that you had, and did they ever not believe you? Put that in the comments, because I really would like to expound upon that in the comment section, and I am interested in hearing you guys' story on that. But yeah, people, my mother actually worked for over 20 plus years in the mental health industry, and I have worked in mental health since 2007. So I've been in this game for a long time, certifications, and I've gotten all types of certificates and just, a lot of different things in this field, like so much so, you guys, I could be a nurse. I'm serious. I should be a nurse, honey, with some of the tests and things, honey. Miss Robinson be having to pass, okay? But yeah, I really understand that about Marie, because I believe, you guys, when Bell Collective, was it when it went off or when it came on? I do remember there were like all these shady videos about she's not legit, her business is fake, and she got a pending court case, and child, it was just crazy. I was like, leave this lady alone.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just, instead of saying, hey, black woman, hats off to you. You're doing a great job. You're making a difference in the community. You're giving back. You're helping. You're inspiring. You're doing all these amazing things. What can I do to become a mental health provider? What can I do to become a home care provider? What can I do to become a medical supplier? What can I do to open up an opiate treatment program in the state of Mississippi? I'm the first black woman in the state to own an opiate treatment program. Well, in California, there may be 200 out there. But in Mississippi, there were only 3. So to accomplish something so, is, I'm at a loss for words. I'm so thankful. But it's been challenging being in reality TV in Mississippi. Your love, it don't come from your home state. It comes from all the other states. It's a lot of hate. It's no love in your home state. Not for me. And being successful at the level that I am, the rate that I'm going. I'm growing so rapidly. Sometimes it's hard for me to believe. So, it's challenging. But, hey, as long as I can inspire at least one woman, then I'm happy with that.
Now, with that being said, because you have all these businesses, were you at any point like apprehensive about coming on reality TV?
Well, when my decision to do reality TV was to inspire the next young girl or the next woman to let her know, hey, you can be successful in spite of your circumstances, in spite of whatever it is you're going through. You can achieve whatever it is that you set your heart to, whether that's being in corporate America, 8 to 5, or an entrepreneur. You can do it. So my goal was to do reality TV to inspire the next woman that, hey, you can own all these different businesses and make millions of dollars too. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, it's been peaches and cream. It takes a lot of hard work to make millions of dollars. That's why God bless only certain people with that type of volume, because not everybody can handle it. If you have a problem, it's not a small problem. It's a huge problem if you have a problem when you make it that type of money. And then and for me, I have to have different auditing firms in place. That's all they do for me is straight auditing every day around the clock on the medical side, on the financial side, and on the compliance side. I have that in place just for, people hate. They want to sit up and, call the government, she's fraud, and have me spending out $50,000 to legal fees to prove this ain't nothing. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot being in reality TV and the scrutiny. The hate, it's unreal. When you're successful and you really, really have it, you're under huge attack.
I feel really bad, you guys, for her. How do you guys feel about the scrutiny that Marie has constantly been under since Bell Collective has started? Please comment on that.
It's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So my goal is to do reality TV to inspire the next woman, not to, my business is my brand. It's already established. It's already built now. Yes, true. Being on reality TV has brought more opportunities. It really has opened up a lot of doors. And just to be quite frank about it, like one of my clinics, I'm opening up, the goal is 20. I'm doing 5 right now. One of them I inherited just because of my, me being reality TV. And I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful. It's been challenging. The scandals, the scrutiny, I have been under huge attack. And, at times, I've been like, do I want to do this? But at the end of the day, if I stop. So, I'm doing what God called me to do to inspire and to at least be able to transform lives and help the next woman. So that's what it's about for me. Not about the money or the fame. I don't care, and I'm just being honest. I'm very transparent. I don't care about, the appearances, the interviews, and all of that. My goal is to give back and inspire. I love serving people and helping. So I'm balancing a lot. I'm in school and, I'm trying to navigate from, the depth of my divorce. Children, I have 4 kids, 3 grandkids, and, running all these different businesses. It's a lot. So everything that you see on TV when it comes to my life is very much so is real.
And she has lupus too, right, you guys? I believe she has some type of autoimmune disease.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your transparency. This is a great conversation. But I do want to take a quick pause to remind you that on Saturday, July 16th, the Micheaux Film Festival will feature Ernest Dickinson in a career spotlight, moderated by fellow honoree Brenda Gilbert, by creator and cast of Love and Marriage franchise and Bell Collective. Now, the Love and Marriage franchise showcases Black love in a very raw and real way. Why do you think, Carlos, that this was important for OWN to showcase?
Well, I think OWN is the destination for Black love and all things Black excellence. So to be able to provide, a nice Friday and Saturday sit down conversation as you're watching the TV shows, is something that I think the audience definitely needed. So when Love and Marriage Huntsville became this big unscripted hit out of nowhere, because again, we were like the little inches that could. It was like Melody said, it was like, oh, they're in Huntsville. I don't know about this. And then it to me, and I'm curious what Melody thinks, but to me, I think a lot of people were surprised by how transparent they were about their relationships and their marriages. And I will go on record saying that show brought men to watching reality TV, because when I get stopped at the Target in aisle 13 buying Tupperware, what's interesting is how husbands come to me and say, yo, man, you know what I'm saying? You got me watching this show with my wife, and it's good. So what's interesting is it allows couples to watch these shows together and to have these conversations of, would I do this? Would I do that? So when you watch Bell Collective, Love and Marriage Huntsville in DC, it truly is bringing back couples watching unscripted shows together so that they're able to have these very intense, real, open and honest conversations about what they're going through. And I think that's just beautiful.
It is, and it's really creating a lot of dialogue too, especially in the home and online. Now, Melody, do you ever regret putting your life out there for all of us to see?
I don't at all. Whenever I decided to, do the show, I knew from the get-go that if I was going to do it, I was going to be transparent, right? Did I think when I started that it would end with me being divorced? Absolutely not, right? All marriages do go through things, and I did think that was something that we would, get over, get past, but that wasn't the way it happened, and that's fine too. So I don't regret it because, again, when I think about purpose work and the number of women who I meet who are in my DMs and I'm getting, messages from, I'm getting to interact with them, and I'm hearing and seeing how my transparency is helping them through their situation. There are women who are being emotionally abused, physically abused, who are in marriages where they're afraid to leave because they have children, and they're looking at me and my story, and they're seeing how I walked away when my youngest child was only 3 months, and they're feeling like, wow, if you can do it, then so can I. And so I in no way regret at all choosing to be real on a reality TV show. Just to piggyback off of something, what Carlos just said, I too, of course, get men who come up and they watch the show as well, like Carlos said, with their wives. It's a big conversation topic for the weekend most of the time. I think that for a long time, women were at the forefront of reality TV. When you thought of reality TV, you thought mostly of just seeing and hearing the stories of women. Love and Marriage Huntsville, when it came in straight out the gate, period, it was one of those situations to where the men and the women equally, right, were given camera time and expressing their feelings and being able to be honest and transparent and have these real conversations equally. And I think that that is one of the things that has made the franchise just really, a leader in the game, to be honest with you, in terms of all reality TV, because it gave also the men a platform and an opportunity to express themselves just as the women do. So that's kind of the difference for sure.
I love that. Now, Ashley and DJ Quicksilver, has anything on screen affected your life off screen, positively or negatively?
Okay, we just want to say sorry. We shouldn't have been talking about weather earlier. We just got some big storm that has knocked everything out.
We have no power in our whole house.
Yeah, so but
what about reality happening?
Right. Exactly.
reality of the reality, okay?
Literally on my cell phone because all the power, all the internet, and the whole entire neighborhood is out.
Right, and it's like getting dark outside. But anyway, what was the question?
But
Sorry, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. You guys have, no, it's okay. I'm glad you guys are okay. Has anything on screen affected your life off screen, positively or negatively?
For us, no, not really. Like, I mean, for the most part, one of the things about coming into this, of course, Monique was already a reality star, but in our area, we are already, you know, somewhat of like local celebrities. Quick has been on the air now 20 years between DC and Baltimore. I've had a blog. I don't like to say socialite, but you know, I go to the parties, girl. I'm everywhere. So for the most part, we've dealt with. I think the main thing that comes with reality TV now is like people thinking they know your life, you know, your entire life,
right,
based on watching a 42-minute show that's split up over 3 couples, friends of the show, all of this stuff, and it's like you see me on screen for maybe 12 minutes, and you know my entire life. So that's just been the only thing, you know, people really thinking they know every single thing about me. You know, oh, she breathed this way when he said that, so that must mean their marriage is on the rocks.
We actually seen that real comment.
I mean, literally, I said, on one episode, I said, I don't know who I would be if something happened so quick. We were talking about the multiple car accidents he's been in. And this lady just kept going in on me that I need to find myself and know who I am. And I'm like, if your best friend of 20 years passed, I'm sure you would probably feel that way too. So, okay. But like, I think that those are just the biggest adjustments, like people thinking they know everything, that they can say whatever they want, that, you know, they want to take something that you said for 5 seconds and run with it for 6 months, and now you're the scum of the earth because you've done this or said this. And it's like, yes, because you've never said or done anything that someone can take offense to. So that's just the only thing.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you brought up an interesting point. So as reality stars, your real life becomes entertainment for others. How do you handle the comments and criticisms that may come your way? Anyone can answer this.
I'm gonna jump in first. I completely ignore it. Like I said, I've been, and I hate to use the word spotlight. I've been radio, TV for 20 plus years, so we're used to the scrutiny that comes with being public figures, as you say. But what I always say, and I feel like I say this so much on the show, I always say reality TV and social media, they don't break up strong relationships. They simply expose weak ones. If your relationship is weak and you get on TV, it's going to come out. If your relationship is strong, I know how to scroll. So, like, I see the negative things. We see a lot of positive, by the way. But we see the 1 or 2 negative things. I always tell Ashley, and this is something that I'm hoping she's working on. I tell Ashley all the time, if 100 people says they love you, and 10 say they'll go away.
I ignore. If it's 10 of them, 2 of them gonna get it.
And that's the difference. In real life, like, I'm good. I'm so good in real life that social media doesn't bother me. And we were just talking about this before we came on here. I said, I honestly wish sometimes that social media would go away. That's why I started the hashtag in real life. So many people live. I saw that something about the Silvas, and I think somebody replied, how do you know? And the person, their reply was, because I saw it on Twitter and it trended. I'm like, oh my God. Like,
I like Quick. I think he is so funny and real and honey.
Generation of people that believe if I saw it on Twitter and God forbid it makes the blog, or it's the Bible. Carlos King, it's the Bible.
I mean, I've heard so much stuff about myself, like stuff I didn't even know about. I mean, ruthless, like it's crazy.
But it was on Twitter, so it has to be real. I have 2 thumbs when I typed it. It's real.
Now, Twitter is a good place to topic.
I don't even like Twitter like that. I don't even really like Instagram like that. That's why I never tell y'all to follow me on there. I've tried to add more people on Instagram, but I'm not into that. I kind of like Facebook, 'cause I just feel like it's more personable. And YouTube is probably my favorite social media. Please put down your favorite social media. And what did you guys think about what Quick said about like hashtag in real life? Like, I understand what he's saying so much because in my personal opinion, it is so important to have a life outside of social media. That's one of the beautiful things of the past and yesteryear, honey. You know, it wasn't even all the social media. People really got together at parties and like met people in a more genuine way. Do you see what I'm saying? It is a lot of social media, and to me, you got to keep the social media in doses. Like, you really, you don't want it to take over your life, is what I will say.
Oh, you know what? I got off of Twitter probably about 6-7 years ago, and I never got back on. I like Instagram. Give me the fake and phony of Instagram and editing pictures and filters. Because on Twitter, like, these mother effers think that they know everything. They so mean. I'm like, I will punch you in your face. See, but then I think what they quickly learned about me is that you say whatever you want to say about me. I'm going to look at your profile picture, and the same way you have made this whole thing about my life, now I know everything about you too. And I'm going to chump you down the sides. You're going to feel this big after you're done with me.
Come on, Ashley. I like Ashley. I like her energy on Love and Marriage DC. She's another reason why I feel that show is successful, because she doesn't back down. She's expressive. She's no nonsense. And she stands by what she says. She's not right all the time, but I like Ashley. I think she's very beautiful. I'm happy she done got her book done.
Out to Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson said something on Instagram maybe a few years ago, and it's so real. He said, "I hate social media." And they said, "Why, Mike?" He said, "Because it's made people comfortable saying what they want to say and not get punched in the mouth." So, not saying we're going to be anybody up, but this is so true. I remember recently, there was somebody that was just trolling me like on Instagram forever, on the Twitter, and I ignored. I don't care. But then I seen the person in real life, and they asked for a picture. And I want to be like, so you're a fan. But me, I say, you know what? I'm going to be the bigger man. My life is amazing. I'm great. My skin is glowing. I'm not going to sit here and go back and forth with this person who's been tweeting me for 6 months about how much they hate me when they see me. Then you see me and say, "Oh my God, Quicksilver, take a picture with me."
Twitter is a scary place.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, on a positive note, what's been your favorite part about being on TV?
Who did she say? I do love. I'm a pretty open person as it is, and I think Melody was saying something very similar. Just when people come up to us and want to talk about the story and talk about things that we've shared and stuff. I shared on one of the recent episodes that I suffer with depression. It's something that a lot of people deal with in silence, and a lot of times they think that depression has a look or a social class or whatever, and it really doesn't. It affects everybody. And I get so many people who either DM me or when I see them out, they're like, "I'm so happy you're talking about this because I would have never guessed it," and now I can help move them in a positive direction in whatever they're balancing. So I love that part.
That's
if I can
good.
For a second, what Ashley just said, I think that's what I love most about. And shout out to Carlos King once again, because when he first came to us, I shot it down. I was like, absolutely not. Reality TV is messy. I watched Huntsville one episode. Absolutely not. We want no parts to do. This is what I really said, right? But after being on this show, and I remember Carlos saying, "Quick, look, we're not in this business. We're not. I'm not going to throw shade at anybody. We're not in the business of just scandal and mess. Like that's not who we are. And if you're not doing anything, you have nothing to worry about." Which I said, great. So with that being said, I love that. I agreed to do it. We agreed to do it. And now that it really has been the exact opposite of what I thought reality TV was. I've never watched reality TV, and I'm like,
Quick loves it. Quick loves being a reality star.
So I love it. I love it not because of the popularity portion. I love it because what Ashley just said. She suffers from depression. I've been through a lot in my life, and then you watch this season. I've lost both parents. I've been shot. I've been stabbed. I've been in the street. Like I've been through a lot. that a lot of my supporters, I never say fans, a lot of my supporters have listened to the radio for 20 years. They now see me and be like, quick, I had no idea with you and your brothers at the grave and you breaking down crying. Like, I've never publicly cried in my life. I've cried like 3 times in my life, and once was on TV. So, like, I didn't even cry at my mom and dad's funeral. Like, and these are things that a lot of men were taught. And the fact that I'm now on TV talking about this, it's opened up the conversation for men to realize crying doesn't mean that you're weak. Depression doesn't mean that you're crazy. And these are things that this show has really helped us open up a lot more about. So, shout out to Carlos. Thanks, Carlos.
Shout out to Carlos and transparency. We always love to see that too. It really helps, people watching the show because they feel like they can relate to you. They're not alone, so that's always a blessing. But before we wrap, we'll open up the chat for audience questions. But first, I have one more question for Carlos. You also host a late night wrap-up show on OWN, the Nightcap with Carlos King. Let's take a quick look.
Welcome to the Nightcap, the party of after party.
Carlos?
The king.
Now, Carlos, what can you tell us about this new show?
So the Nightcap with Carlos King, love letter to the Love and Marriage franchise fans, the collective fans, and all the fans of reality television. It's fun, it's messy, it's juicy, it gets my cast in trouble with their castmates, but because I asked the question.
We good over here.
I'm teasing, but the beauty of the show, honestly, is, I don't take for granted that people choose to stay home on a Friday and Saturday night to watch television, right? So after you watch our shows, to be able to know you get to have this interactive moment with my audience and my cast where we get to recap that nice episode, we get to talk about funny, juicy stuff. And the beauty of it, honestly, is the fact that it also shows the connection that I have with my cast. Like, I do think a lot of people assume, like, oh my gosh, Carlos this, Carlos that. And the beauty of the Nightcap with Carlos King is I love all of them. They love me. We have a good time. Because, look, we don't take all of this so seriously in the sense of we're having fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, the show is meant to be fun. It's meant to be silly and messy and juicy. And the moment you walk through that curtain, because they've all been on it, the moment you walk through the curtain, something happens to where you say some of the silliest things, even me. Like, I don't have a script. My guests don't have a script. We really do just talk mess, and it's just been fun. It's really been a fun time.
That sounds like a good old kiki. Well, I'm going to take some questions for the audience before we wrap. So the first question is from Brianna from Melody. It said, you've been so open about your marriage and relationship and never stopped being a boss during all that you were going through. What kept you motivated during hard times?
The biggest thing that definitely has kept me motivated is the fact that I have 4 beautiful children who are, and 3 which are girls, and so it's been important to me to show them what strength looks like, to show them what perseverance looks like. And, because of that, failure has not been an option, and it's not an option. So my motivation, for the most part, definitely lies in my 4 babies.
I love that. Now, this is a question from Ty. Ashley and Quick, what are the keys to maintaining a healthy relationship when you're in the spotlight?
Just in general, not even in the spotlight. I always say to be friends, Quick and I are friends first. We're not like brother and sister like somebody else on our show said.
Oh, man, don't shade on this. Come on, Carlos.
But, no, we really are friends. Like, we can argue. We can go through difficult times. But at the end of the day, me and Quick laugh and joke. And sometimes we're the only one that get the joke. And sometimes he's the only one that can say the most crazy, shady things to get it out. And, friendship is the top tier of our relationship. You can love somebody
all day long. But if you don't like them, you are not going to be able to wake up and see them every day, year after year, day after day. It's not.
And I really like that, you guys, about their relationship. It seemed like they have a lot of fun with each other. There's this mutual respect. I really like Ashley and Quick's relationship. I really do. They're very like unified, unlike Monique with Chris, honey, where they should be unified, but they're not. Okay.
A lot of people are unhappily married, but they stay in a relationship for the wrong reasons. They stay in it because of business, because of kids, because of whatever, because they're afraid of public opinion. And that's just not us. Like I said, we really are friends. She said something on one of the episodes, and I think they thought that she was mad at me about something. And she was like, "Quick, that's my guy." But that's how we felt. Like that's my guy. Like this my little boo. Like that's my baby. But one thing that she's taught me, and once again, if you watch the Love and Marriage DC, I think I said this on the show as well. We've never given up on each other at the exact same time.
We've given up on each other.
We've given up on each other. There's been times where I said, "I'm out of here, gone."
It's never a time he's ever said that.
I didn't say it
like that.
But seriously, like
he might try to tiptoe out the door.
In relationships, and anybody who's married, it's a roller coaster. It's up and here, it's up and down, up and down. It's not always great. Business might not always be great. Whatever you're going through in your life might not always be so high key, whatever. But we've never ever said F this together. There's been times where I did something, she did something, nothing bad, but like we went on the same page mentally but we never said at the same time we're done, because if so, we would have been done.
Yeah, that's good. Now this comment is from Ashley. Carlos, I followed you since Real Housewives. I'm glad you've been able to bring great unscripted content to OWN. What advice do you have for someone who wants to create a reality TV show?
Good question.
Well, that's the thing. You have to really think outside the box and do something that's missing on television, right? So when you think about Love and Marriage, and Melody brought this up, a minute ago, women were always at the forefront of reality TV. And The Real Housewives is a show I've done for 8 years, where it was all about the women all the time. And when I became the first Black male executive producer of that franchise, it was purposeful that I wanted to bring the men to the forefront, because in the life that I live, I come from a 2-parent household. So I know that my father has an opinion. He's just as nosy, and he's just as whimsical. So I wanted to create something that really showcased that. Like, it's not always about the woman's point of view. Like, no, I want to hear from the guys too. I want to hear what they're going through. So that's a good example of something that was missing on television. And now you see a bunch of copycats. But that's not
yes, you do, honey.
There he is.
Now all of a sudden you see these couples and he's doing interviews, and I wonder where they got that from.
Talk your stuff, Colin. I'm talking my stuff. They said I'm right. Talk your stuff.
Well, this question is from Portia for Melody. What are your dieting and beauty tips? You keep getting finer and finer, girl.
Well, first of all, beauty tips. If you ain't got no 7th Avenue Career skincare, honey, you better go order you some. Order you some skincare. I am blessed to have been able to work with a female Black chemist. She's been a chemist for over 18 years. We were able to come together and formulate these amazing products. Also using some things that my great-grandmother taught me as I was, growing up. And so I use my products, of course, but also dieting-wise, I'm very big on intermittent fasting. I don't like to eat after 6 p.m. Sometimes, of course, that doesn't work, but for the most part, I don't like to eat after 6, and then I typically won't eat again until like the next morning, maybe around 10 a.m. So intermittent fasting definitely works for me. And also when you eat, I eat small portions. I eat just for energy purpose. I don't eat to feel that I'm so full that I can't move and accomplish all the things I have to accomplish in a day, knowing that I do have a lot to do and I do have 4 children to run behind and keep up with. I eat small portions to make sure that I'm able to get things done that I need to get done, and I'm not feeling so weighed down because I've eaten super big meals all day.
Oh, that's good. I love intermittent fasting. 3. What are 3 business core values that you never compromise on?
Integrity, ethics, so integrity, of course, ethics and morals. I'm not compromising those at all. No.
They're pretty.
This last question is for Tamra. Does it ever concern you that viewers get emotionally invested in what they see on these shows?
Does it ever concern me that they get emotionally invested?
Yes, I'm sorry. This question was from Terry.
I would say yes, but to me, in a good way. I can honestly say that. Like, I'll be very honest. One of the biggest things from season 1 for me, I became an advocate for fibroids. I went to Congress advocating for a bill for fibroids for women across America. Like, that was huge. And I will say this, it actually happened. Honestly, it wasn't, that's what I say about unscripted. I literally told a producer that it was for another thing. I couldn't make it that day. I had a doctor's appointment. And the producer, being nosy, just said, what is your doctor appointment about? So it wasn't, it's just, they wanted to know. So that came about to me almost by accident, because I'm just like, well, actually, I'm going because of this. And then that became, wow, this is a part of your story. And it was probably one of the biggest stories that allowed me to help millions of women.
That is amazing. All right, you guys, that's all I have to say about all of that. Get down in the comments, honey. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out in the next video.